Welcome to the fourth and possibly final installment of Emily Goes to 12 Anime Collab Cafes. What do I mean by that? Okay, so real quick, I am not quitting collab cafes. I have instead decided that from now on, I should move my collab cafe visits to my YouTube shorts. The reason for that is, as you've probably noticed, it takes kind of a while to put 12 collab cafe visits together in one video, especially since I've gotten a lot pickier with which ones I go to. If I post them as shorts, however, you'll get to hear about them basically the same day that I go, which also means if you're in Japan and you happen to be interested in that particular cafe, you have a chance to book it yourself instead of hearing about it 5 months later. The only downside is that there will be no drawings accompanying these cafe reviews, since I'd like to put them out in a timely manner. These videos were never super art-heavy to begin with, but I liked sprinkling in illustrated moments here and there. On the plus side, this also means that I can put more focus on the fully illustrated videos that a lot of people have been missing. Anyways, those are the current changes I have in mind for this series, but I really value your guys' feedback, so feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments and what you'd like to see from me. I know I can't please everybody, but I am curious to know what the general consensus is for this type of content. Okay, now sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and get cozy, because I actually have the coziest combination to tell you about before we proceed. I have 5 words for you. Open world dress-up game. Allow me to introduce you to Infinity Nikki, the sponsor of today's video and my most anticipated game of the year. And if you're thinking to yourself, wow, this is the most Emily-catered game I have ever seen in my life, you're damn right it is! The development of this fantastical open-world game was led by Kentaro Fuminaga, a former Legend of Zelda director, and it shows. This cozy game has everything your girly heart would desire. There's open-world exploration, fishing, animal handling, boss battles, platforming challenges, puzzles, and of course, dressing up with lots of beautifully designed outfits which can enhance your journey through the world of Mirrorland. I loved the idea of having open-world exploration blended with cute dress-up mechanics, and the stunning visuals of this game really suit the concept well. Click the link in the description if you're interested in pre-ordering Infinity Nikki, and if you want to keep up with the latest updates and announcements, links to the game's socials will also be included. Thank you so much to Infinity Nikki for sponsoring this cozy video. And now, back to the cafes. Okay, let's start off with something strong and widely popular. Number 1, Jujutsu Kaisen collab at Abianto. So this one's an interesting one, because rather than a typical cafe collab, this was a collab between Jujutsu Kaisen and the Shibuya XL Hotel Tokyo. The hotel's high-rise French restaurant put together a course menu inspired by Jujutsu Kaisen's Shibuya incident. And spoilers, this meal was incredible. First off, since this restaurant was on the 25th floor, you got a really nice view of the Shibuya streets, which is the perfect atmosphere for a Jujutsu Kaisen-themed dinner. Each person received a free acrylic reservation sign, which I thought was a neat gift. And we also got a complimentary assortment of bread with olive oil. There was a selection of drinks themed after some of the characters, and I ordered the Satoru Gojo drink. The course started off with a salad that was inspired by Itadori's Black Flash in Shibuya on Halloween. I'm gonna be real with you, I have no idea what was all in the salad, but we thought it was delicious and completely cleaned our plates, which is all that matters. It was really good. The next thing we received was Jogo's Volcanic Eruption Onion Soup, which was a French onion soup made to look like the top of Jogo's head. French onion soup is one of my favorite foods, and we thought this was both really tasty and really creative visually. Our main course was a beef loin cut into cubes to represent the prison realm, with gravy sauce, red and blue sauce to represent Gojo, and 3 side condiments meant to represent Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara. This was also very delicious, and we really liked how artsy the plating was for this one especially. And for our dessert, we received a chocolate dome, which had vanilla ice cream and warm sliced pears inside, which you would reveal by pouring hot caramel sauce over the dome. And this dessert represented the large curtain that was cast over Shibuya. At least that's what Manu told me. Anyway, admittedly, I don't really know anything about Jujutsu Kaisen. This was my first time going to a fine dining anime collab, and honestly, they should do this more often. The cost ended up being a flat fee of around 7,000 yen per person, which, if you think about it, is almost the same price, if not cheaper, than if you were to go to a regular collab cafe and order all the items separately. And the food was actually good. This was one of the best anime food collaborations I'd ever experienced, and I really enjoyed the thoughtfulness and creativity put into the dinner course. I don't even care that there was no merch area. This gets a 5 out of 5 for me. Number 2, Spy Family and Kawara Cafe and Dining. This cafe collaboration coincided with the Spy Family exhibition that was happening at Matsuya Ginza, so of course I had to book tickets to both. I'll show some pictures of the exhibition here while I talk. It was really nicely put together. We got to see a recreation of the Forger family living room, Anya's classroom, which included Anya's terrible test grades and the kids' arts and crafts projects, and we also got to see some original illustrations, manga pages, and one of my favorite little details was a drawing taped to the wall meant to look like it was done by Anya. This exhibit was so insanely cool, and the best part was that when you got to the end of it, you were awarded with your very own Stella. I actually ended up going to the Spy Family Cafe twice with 2 separate groups of friends, so we got to try pretty much everything. Let's start with the drinks. The Stella cider was club soda with mango chunks and star-shaped jellies, which was super cute and very tasty. My friend Whitney ordered Lloyd's coffee float, which I actually didn't get to try, but she seemed to like it. And my friend James ordered Anya's Seifuku drink, which I also did not try, so I have no idea how it tastes. But it gets points for creativity because the colors of the drink were layered to represent Anya's uniform colors. Very cute. Yuri's herbal tea tasted okay. It wasn't anything crazy, just tasted like your standard herbal fruit tea, so it did its job. Considering what this tea was a reference to, I was probably lucky that it didn't end up tasting atrocious. And of course, the drink lineup would not be complete without a latte with Anya's smug-looking face on it. The Bond burger came with a fried chicken sandwich with white buns representing Bond, a side salad, and french fries, and this was pretty good, very straightforward. Papa's superb special hamburger spaghetti was meant to be Lloyd's signature dish, and this one was also pretty good. The spaghetti was especially tasty, but the hamburger patty was not so much. It was still enjoyable, I just wasn't a fan of the meat patty. The best tasting dish, in my opinion, was Yor's Southern Stew, which was supposed to look like the stew Yor makes in the anime. And it may not look like much, but this stew was so good! I ordered it during both of my visits, and each time I was sad that there wasn't more of it. The Thorn Princess's Garden Salad was cute and tasted fine, but it was just soup, salad, and bread, and not really worth the 1380 yen price tag, in my humble opinion. I think Yor's Southern Stew had all the others beat. And for the desserts, there was Yor's Burnt French Toast, which I think was a charcoal French toast with maple syrup and chocolate sauce. And while the concept was very funny, it genuinely tasted bad. It was just an excessive amount of dry bread. Easily the worst dessert, and I don't even think I can be mad about it, because technically, Yor was the one who cooked it, so... Bond's fluffy sponge cake was super cute, but this didn't really taste like much of anything. It was fluffy, but also very dry and tasteless. The Macaron of Wisdom was another clever reference, and admittedly, it was in fact very good, but 980 yen for a single macaron on a plate is really expensive. But also, I mean, technically it's true to the anime, I guess. The best dessert on the menu, in my opinion, was the Starlight Anya cake plate, which had a very cute Anya proudly showing you the star-shaped cake she made for you. And honestly, this cake was really good. Good job, Anya. And here are the coasters we received during our visits. The atmosphere of this place was absolutely fantastic, and during my second visit, I was laughing so much with Rie and Daru that one of the cafe staff came over and offered to take group photos of us because they thought it was nice to see how much of a good time we were clearly having. Even if not everything tasted amazing, I thought the menu creativity was better than most other cafes I'd been to, and I genuinely made some great memories here. So this experience was an easy 5 out of 5. Number 3, Black Butler at Motto Cafe in Ikebukuro. This was at the same location as the Tokyo Mew Mew collab they did last year, but because of the popularity of Black Butler, I actually had to apply to this cafe under a lottery system, and I ended up getting it. And who better to bring with me to the Black Butler Cafe than Mr. Sea Dog VA himself? I ordered Grell's Pomegranate Vinegar Fizz, which was actually pretty good. You can never go wrong with a good fruity soda. Connor ordered, of course, the cafe's special fish and chips. Did it live up to the Englishman standards?
Interesting thing about this.
How's the flavor? Really?
Not so bad.
It's not bad? I'm gonna try some.
It's pretty good.
Oh.
It's actually not bad.
A shocking seal of approval. Unfortunately, my shepherd's pie wasn't nearly as good. The cheese was really gross, and the sauce was way too sweet. According to the menu, there was supposedly pineapple hidden in the ingredients, meant to be some sort of prank played by the Undertaker. And normally, I'm all for a good in-character prank, but for 1,300 yen, I would have liked something I could finish. And lastly, Connor ordered Sebastian's affogato for dessert. Oh, is it hot coffee?
It should be hot, but I don't think it is.
Thoughts?
It's like the $1 Walmart ice cream in the tub, you know, the giant tub. Not that I'm hating it, it's the saddest affogato ever. It's not even British. What's the fuck? What is this? This is Italian. Why are you doing this? Alright, whatever.
It was literally just 2 scoops of ice cream with a drizzle of lukewarm coffee. So unfortunately, 2 out of the 4 things we ordered were a bit of a disappointment. But we received free ticket file folders with our reservation, and although I didn't buy anything, I think this collab had a pretty interesting selection of merchandise to choose from. And here are the very pretty coasters we received. Overall, not the greatest, especially considering the trouble it took to book, but probably still enjoyable if you're a big Black Butler fan. This cafe gets a 2.5 out of 5 from me. Number 4, Apex Legends at Tower Records Cafe in Shibuya. If you watched the last Collab Cafe video, you may remember I went to the Tower Records Cafe in Omotesando and had a memorable time. But this time, I decided to go to the Shibuya location, and I dragged again with me the only Apex Legends player I know, Connor. So the first thing I noticed right away was the sheer size of the Shibuya Tower Records Cafe compared to the Omotesando one. This place was huge, and they even had a giant Nessie plush on display in the merch area, which was also huge. It really felt like they went all out with the Apex Legends collab, so I think it goes without saying that it gets full points for both atmosphere and merch, because it is genuinely one of the more impressive collab cafe setups I've ever seen. But now the question was, how was the food? One thing about the menu I really liked was the fact that there were 23 drinks inspired by every legend in the game at the time. It was really hard to choose between them all, so I ended up getting 2. I ordered a drink inspired by Mirage, which was a club soda that came with 2 glasses of passion fruit syrup, meant to represent decoys. I also ordered a mixed berry juice, which represented Mad Maggie. Connor ordered the Pathfinder drink, which was a soda with blue raspberry syrup, a lemon slice to represent the smiley face on Pathfinder's chest, and a yellow straw for the zipline. All the drinks were very tasty, so no complaints there. For his meal, Connor got the supply box burger, which came packaged in a really cute supply box. And for myself, I ordered the Nessie Summer Loco Moco, which came with a hamburger steak, a fried egg, rice, potato salad, and a salad. The taste of both of these items were,
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a toy burger, and it's kind of tastes like one. It's kind of meh. Like everything looks like fake. It's okay. Taste is fine. At $20 though, I don't know.
This is also okay. Those fries are so sad.
It's just like,
Not a single grain of salt or pepper.
it's like British cooking. No seasoning allowed.
It was okay. We really didn't want to be haters because the presentation was honestly really nice, but I could not finish my Loco Moco and Connor had to power through his tasteless burger. For our dessert, we shared the Nessie cake, which was a chocolate brownie cake with blue jelly and an adorable little Nessie head popping out of the jelly. The jelly tasted like nothing, but Connor liked the chocolate brownie part, and as much as I loved the look of it, these prices are crazy. I mean, I get it, right? It's a limited edition menu item and it's really cute, but good God, these are like fine dining prices. We also shared the crispy Nessie millefeuille. Millefeuille. This thing, which had custard cream, fruit, ice cream, and a chubby Nessie-shaped sugar candy at the top. This dessert tasted fine. Nessie tasted a little weird, but I feel like he was mostly there to just be decoration, so it was fine. I definitely liked this dessert more than the brownie cake one. Overall, this was a fun experience. I just wish the food tasted better so that it was worth the high menu prices. So I'm gonna give this cafe like a 3.5, 3.8 out of 5. Number 5, Myy Cafe in Daikanyama. This one is actually a permanent cafe that opened half a year ago, so you could book a reservation for this place right now if you wanted to. I've been to this cafe twice so far, and even though I'm personally not the biggest Myy fan, I thought it was super cute. I started off by ordering an iced caramel coffee, and when you order a drink, you're given the option of having a Myy-shaped pastry alongside it. For my meal, I ordered the meatballs with tomato sauce, which came with pea soup, a side salad, and bread with Myy's face printed on it. I thoroughly enjoyed this meal. Everything on my plate tasted really good. My friend Belle ordered the wrapped salmon, which came cooked with some mushroom and veggies, a side salad, and a side of bread. This meal was also really good. Not the most filling thing in the world, but it was balanced and tasty. And for dessert, we shared the carrot cake, which was also really good. Just like with every other collab cafe, the menu items are a bit expensive, but you're really paying for the novelty of eating Myy branded food. And if you do come here, I recommend ordering the hot items off the main menu rather than the sandwiches, because during my second visit, my friends both ordered the sandwiches and they were not a fan of the flavors, which definitely paled in comparison to the main menu items. The merch corner had a bunch of cute stuff on display, like branded mugs, cups, books, tote bags, perfect for any big Myy fan. I ended up purchasing a bag of those Myy-shaped caramel cakes because the one I had with my drink tasted so good. I think the best way to describe this cafe is that it feels really cozy. It's in a really quiet area, and I think it's a really nice spot for a casual lunch date with a friend if you're in the mood for food that doesn't feel heavy or sickly sweet. I'm giving this cafe a solid 4 out of 5. Number 6, Detective Conan at Box Cafe in Space in Shinjuku. I actually went to 2 different Detective Conan collabs, but they were both operating under Box Cafe in Space, so I'll focus more on my most recent visit. My first visit was commemorating Detective Conan's 26th animated film, and the food was genuinely fantastic. Since that visit, Detective Conan has had another film release and another cafe collab at the exact same venue. For my drink, I ordered Ran's pomegranate and strawberry soda, which was nice and tart. I love fruit sodas, so I already knew I was going to like this one. Giri ordered the Shinichi clear soda, which was topped with an apple-flavored blue sherbet. I also got the Edogawa Conan waffle plate, mostly because I thought the Conan-shaped waffles were super cute, and it came with meatballs in a tomato cream sauce, mashed potatoes, a side salad, and some jam. It was pretty okay. It sort of reminded me of IKEA meatballs, and the only thing I didn't really like were the waffles, because they were a bit too dry and cakey for my liking. Giri ordered Kaito Kid's Marvelous Curry, which was inspired by the Hokkaido setting in the movie, and the presentation of this curry was really cute, but disappointingly, it was really salty, and the curry was lukewarm. This was pretty upsetting, because for 2,000 yen curry, I would expect it to be edible, at the very least. For dessert, we shared Heiji and Kazuha's soul cake, which was a sweet dessert made to resemble an okonomiyaki. I really liked the creativity in making the condensed milk sauce look like mayonnaise and making the peach and cream resemble a fried egg. And honestly, this tasted pretty good. It was just really thick and cakey, and there was a lot of it. We couldn't really finish it, but out of all the dishes we ordered, this was probably the best one. Also, here's the coasters that we received. Compared to last year's Conan Cafe, I think the menu for this year's collab was a little disappointing, or it could just be that we ordered all the wrong things. So I'm regrettably giving the Conan Cafe a 2.5 out of 5. If I had to rate last year's collab, I would have probably given it a 4.5, which just goes to show that these cafes can be really hit or miss depending on the menu. Number 7, Apothecary Diaries at Nuts Live Cafe. Apothecary Diaries is a series that Daru and I have both been enjoying lately, so we decided to check out their limited time collab in Omotesando. The venue was in a nice sunny area, and I especially liked the cafe art of the characters on the table placemats and the wall. For our drinks, we got the Mau Mau Matcha Cream Tea and the Jinshi Blueberry Cream Tea, both of which were really refreshing and tasty. For the food, we ordered Mau Mau's White Fish Soup, which actually tasted better than we expected. It came with a thin, crispy fried bread in the shape of a cat. We also ordered Jinshi's Aphrodisiac Meat Rice, which I was a little nervous about because it had blueberry sauce drizzled over it, and I wasn't really sure if I was going to be into that. But this one was also surprisingly better than I'd expected. Both of these dishes were nice and savory and actually tasted like proper meals. For For dessert, we tried Lady Gyokyo's strawberry milk pudding, which came topped with various fruits and a flower-shaped meringue. And this dessert was really tasty. It tasted light, fresh, and summery, and was my favorite thing that we ordered that day. The second dessert was inspired by Lady Lihua, and this one was an almond tofu topped with lemon jelly and cookies shaped like bellflowers. The jelly didn't really taste like much, but everything about this dessert was light and refreshing, and I really liked the almond flavor. There wasn't much to look at in the merch selection, and the one thing I wanted were these beautiful acrylic coasters that were unfortunately all sold out. There was also sadly no free coasters, but we did receive free stickers for every item we ordered, so we didn't walk away totally empty-handed. I wish there was a bigger merch selection since the art was so beautiful, but I think this collab was pretty straightforward and just about what you'd expect from a typical pop-up cafe. And the taste of everything had actually exceeded our low expectations, and for that I'm very grateful, and I'm sure Mao Mao would also approve. I'll give this one a 3.8, 4 out of 5. Number 8. You may have remembered in my last collab cafe video, I went to Q-Pot Cafe for the first time for the Cardcaptor Sakura collab, and it basically changed my life. Well, I'm very happy to announce that they brought it back this year with a slightly different menu. So you know I had to book it and experience the magic all over again. So come with me again to Q-Pot Cafe for the Cardcaptor Sakura collab. The place was decorated just as adorably as I'd last remembered, with all the various coaster designs fixed to the walls. Christine and I decided to share the Friendship Afternoon Tea set, which came with a mango and coconut pound cake with a Karo cookie on top, a mini cupcake with Sakura cream, ribbon cookie, and meringue wings, a Sakura macaron, and a blueberry panna cotta with a spinel cookie. The bottom savory tier had a crispy BLT croissant sandwich, corn soup, and a small vegetable jello pate thing. I also ordered the fluffy chiffon mug cake made to look like Sakura's yellow dress, which had custard mousse and caramel sauce on the inside. And just like the chiffon cake from last year, it came with a free Sakura mug that you could take home with you. And lastly, Christine and I shared the giant release parfait, which was made to resemble Sakura's sealing wand using sugar cookies and meringue. This parfait had a lot going on. It had strawberry sorbet, strawberry cream, strawberry jelly, diced strawberries, berry sauce, and cookies at the bottom. You can understand why I was really excited to order this one. Oh yeah, itadakimasu. How is it? And to wash all the sugar down, I ordered a strawberry milk tea, which was served in Q-Pot's iconic Sakura glass. And here is our gorgeous afternoon tea spread with the coasters that we received. Just like last time, this whole meal leaned very heavily on the super sugary side, so near the end, it was a bit of a struggle to finish some of the desserts. But everything tasted magical, especially since I was sharing the meal with a fellow Cardcaptor Sakura fan. There also happened to be new Q-Pop merch alongside this collaboration, and I actually held back on buying any of the jewelry, because I am a master of self-control. And also because I bought the Cloud Card necklace last year and it was kind of expensive, so I decided to cut myself off this time around. But aside from the jewelry, I ended up buying the newly released Sharon cup to match my Sakura one at home. I also bought a glittery acrylic coaster made to look like Sakura's ceiling circle, and this acrylic stand of Sakura and Tomoyo because I thought it was too cute not to buy. You already know what score I'm going to give this one. It's an easy 5 out of 5, and I hope Q-Pop makes this a yearly tradition. Number 9, Free Ren at Box Cafe in Space in Tokyo Solamachi. Free Ren is the hottest new anime out right now, and I've really been enjoying it, so I was fully prepared for the inevitable release of a collab cafe, and ended up going with a few friends. This particular Box Cafe in Space is near Tokyo Skytree, and it's a bit smaller than the Shinjuku one that I've been to a few times. With our cafe reservation, we received a free postcard of Free Ren, Fern, and Stark dressed in their cafe outfits, and the tables were decorated with super cute chibi art. The magic to create a flower-filled drink was a fruity peach soda that was inspired by, of course, Free Ren's flower-filled spell. It's in the name. The magic of removing alcohol drink was a drink that resembles beer but was actually an apple ginger soft drink with an apple juice foam. And this was, of course, inspired by the remove alcohol spell that Free Ren had collected in the show. And my personal favorite drink was the magic of shaved ice, inspired by Free Ren's shaved ice spell. This came with a funnel filled with shaved ice sitting on top of a glass of a lemon-based drink. And the idea of this was, you were supposed to pour a warm pineapple-based drink over the ice, which melted into the lemon drink and magically changed it to a purple-pink color. I thought this was so cute and clever, and it tasted really good. It was like a fruity lemonade. The first dish of the night we got was Himmel's omelet, which was apparently his favorite food. This was a creamy cheese omelet sitting on a bed of rice, and it was actually really tasty. I feel like you can't go wrong with a cafe omelet rice. The second dish was called A Gift for a Hard-Working Warrior, and it was a pasta dish topped with hamburger steak and surrounded by a ring of, I think, refried beans, and came with a side salad and ketchup. I think it was supposed to resemble a giant steak, and you know what? Yeah, it looks like slop, but it actually tasted pretty good. The refried beans were a little too salty, but the bolognese pasta kind of reminded me of Hamburger Helper, and I like Hamburger Helper. But by far the worst dish was the free run meal, which had a very cute free run wrapped up snugly in a tortilla roll and sitting beside a hamburger slathered in cream sauce and pink pepper. This tasted not good. I got like 1 or 2 bites in and then had my friends take care of the rest. I didn't get any of the merch, but they had some really cute stuff on display alongside the usual acrylic stands and keychains. I give the Free Run Cafe a 4 out of 5. The drinks were definitely my favorite part of the menu, and I'm hoping this anime ends up getting a Jujutsu Kaisen style fine dining collab one day, because I feel like it'd be fitting. Number 10, Tom and Jerry Diner at Miyashita Park. I had no idea Tom and Jerry was so popular in Japan, but considering the country's deep love for cute animal mascots, it doesn't really come as a surprise. And for a while, it had its own collab cafe at Miyashita Park. Even though the space was small, the way it was decorated was really cute, and I liked the little touch of having Jerry's little mouse hole in the wall. I was really excited for this menu because the food actually looked really decent. But how did it taste? So let me start off by saying it is no secret that cheese in Japan is usually not very good. And unfortunately, I think some of the food at this cafe reflected that. But let's start with the good things first. So I ordered the Jerry White Stew plate, which looked so unbelievably cute. This must have been put together by some expert bento artist in the back because wow, this thing looked adorable. It wasn't the best white stew I'd ever had by any means, but by Collab Cafe standards, this dish was great. Definitely one of the better things that we ordered. Daru ordered the cream pasta with bacon, and this pasta was both lukewarm and not very good flavor-wise. It lacked any semblance of flavor, and the sauce was probably some of the worst cream sauce I'd ever tasted. I don't really have anything else to say about it, it was just bad. And speaking of bad, we also ordered the hot ham and cheese mini sandwich, which was adorably in the shape of a little cartoon wedge of cheese. And it was advertised as having melted mozzarella cheese. But the cheese is what made this sandwich inedible, because it was basically glue. I have no idea what kind of mozzarella they were using, but I can only assume it was cheese-flavored Elmer's glue. In their defense, I should have probably managed my expectations a little better, because who the hell am I to expect quality cheese from a cartoon-themed collab cafe, right? Surprisingly though, the Jerry cheesecake actually tasted like cheesecake, and it was also super stinking cute and on theme, with a little chocolate Jerry butt sticking out of it. This was a genius cheesecake design, and I thoroughly appreciated it. Our only complaint was that the cheesecake crust was really mushy and had the consistency of undercooked dough. Luckily, it was pretty easy to avoid though. I forgot to record the merch section, but they had a lot of super cute merch, like these little plushies that I managed to take a picture of. Overall, a pretty solid cafe. The stuff we got was either a strong hit or a strong miss, so I think you just need to order the right things. But that mozzarella was offensive. 4 out of 5. Also, there were no coasters. Number 11. Before we get to our final and most anticipated cafe, I'd like to use the 11th spot to quickly mention some of our dishonorable mentions. These are cafes I went to but decided not to dedicate a section to because they were underwhelming or just straight up bad. Black Lagoon at Ant Gallery. This collab was genuinely so bad, it made me personally blacklist this venue. I don't think I need to really explain why, I just need you to look at it. Fruits Basket, also at Ant Gallery. I know I literally just said I blacklisted this venue after the Black Lagoon collab, but I thought the art was really cute, so I went just for the coasters and merch. My Dress Up Darling at Matsuya Ginza. I attended this one with a friend, mostly for the cool art exhibition that was happening alongside it, which was great. But the food at this cafe was terrible, so I decided I didn't want to talk about it. Zootopia at Myy Cafe. Extremely overpriced, terrible food. Presentation was cute, but honestly, I wish I never went. And Rapunzel Cafe at Myy Cafe. The food was massively overpriced for what we got, but I mean, it tasted fine. Presentation was cute, and the food didn't taste bad, but the price of everything was especially offensive, even by collab cafe standards. So I've personally blacklisted any collab that Myy Cafe does, because honestly, it's not worth your time. Number 12, the Chika Restaurant at the Guest Cafe and Diner in Ikebukuro Parko. So you might have seen this little character and his friends floating around on the internet. Maybe you first heard about him through Jaden and her intense Chikawa hyperfixation, but it's not just her. For the past few years or so, Chikawa has absolutely taken over Japan. Us personally, we're a Hachiwara household. And recently, the Guest Cafe and Diner at Ikebukuro Parko has transformed into a permanent Chikawa restaurant. I was so excited when the news first broke last November. A permanent cafe! That means I had a chance to go to this year-round. However, seats were distributed based on a lottery system, and every single damn time I applied for this cafe, I was rejected. And each rejection just made me want to go to this cafe even more. The one cafe I couldn't have for months. It was taunting me every time I saw their stupid cute little faces. I would never know peace unless I could get into the Chikawa restaurant. And I did exactly that. Let's talk about it. First off, we had to show up rocking our best Chikawa fits. And as expected of any permanent cafe, the Chikawa restaurant was beautifully decorated with art of their adorable characters, both on the outside and inside of the venue. Even the little table bell was made to look like one of the characters. Here's the paper placemat that we received at our table, and here are the coasters that we got. For our drinks, I ordered the Usagi Mango Cream Soda, which came with a really cute Usagi ice cream head topped with some orange and candied peel. This was delicious, as expected. Didas ordered the Sea Otter Hot Vienna Coffee, which came with a little marshmallow rocco head, which you could place on top of the sweet soft cream. This drink was also very good, and Didas really liked it. For our appetizer, we ordered the Chikawa meat bun, which looked so cute. Look at his dumb little face. This meat bun was also delicious, moist, and really flavorful, and we both really enjoyed it. For my meal, I got the Hachiwara fried egg and hamburger set, and I could choose between Hachiwara-shaped rice or Chikawa bread, and I went for the bread. This was a hamburger steak topped with fried egg and served with corn, mashed potatoes, broccoli, and glazed carrots with a side of sauce for the hamburger. And this was the cute paper placemat that came with it. This tasted so good. It was actually so good, I finished everything off my plate very quickly. However, the highlight of the dinner was the raw ramen that Didas ordered. First of all, this thing was massive, and it looked like a proper bowl of ramen, both in portion size and appearance. There were juicy pieces of meat, a mountain of bean sprouts, corn, and spicy fried tempura bits at the top. And there was a little branded fish cake in the corner. Didas absolutely devoured this ramen bowl and gave it his official seal of approval, which is kind of a big deal because he is the biggest collab cafe hater I know, and he was really impressed by the food that he got. For dessert, we shared the Hachiwara Castella cake, which was a super cute Hachiwara Castella with a side of mangoes, vanilla ice cream, and syrup. And not only was this dessert adorable, but the cake was nice and moist and delicious. We completely destroyed this plate as well. And lastly, we shared Usagi's whimsical dessert plate, which came with an assortment of mini desserts. My favorite thing on the plate was the mini custard tart topped with nuts, but everything tasted good. I know it might sound like I'm being biased, because this is a cafe I've admittedly been dying to go to for months now. But I'm not kidding when I say this may be the best collab cafe I have ever been to. Dare I say, I think this is even better than the Kirby Cafe. And I have Didas here as my witness, and he has never held back on ripping into a cafe with ass food. But even he was absolutely blown away by how there wasn't a single bad tasting thing that we ordered. And I have not forgotten about the merch. The merch corner was, of course, stacked with exclusive Chikawa Restaurant merch. Here's what I picked up. This box set of official Chikawa Restaurant miniatures, which had itty-bitty versions of the menu items. This was my #1 favorite purchase of the night. It's so cute, and those little tiny versions of some of the food that we ordered. I also got a file folder of the best character, Hachiware, a plate with an illustration of the Hachiware egg hamburg steak, a Chika Restaurant mini plate, 2 big rolls of Chika Restaurant washi tape, a book of Chika postcards. I picked up a second one to give to Jaden. A little plush of Hachiware in his restaurant uniform that I will be taking pictures with when I get a chance to come back. And of course, I had to pick up a Chika version to give to Jaden. The Chika Restaurant updates their menu seasonally, so you know for a fact I will be applying for seats every single month. Chika Restaurant gets a glowing 5 out of 5. I have no notes. This was perfection in a cafe. That's all the time I have for now, but let me know which of these cafes you'd be most interested in. And I will see you in a week when I'm back from California.